Are you taking the solicitor's qualifying examination? If so, this video is a practice test question to help you prepare for the SQE 1 exam. In this part of the course, we are going to cover what you need to know for the SQE 1 exam about the key rights guaranteed to people under the European Convention on Human Rights through the UK's Human Rights Act. I will explain these in this easy-to-learn diagram. We will then go through this practice test question together from the SQE 1 exam for this topic. To get the first part of our full SQE preparation course for free, just click on the link below. My goal is to help you prepare for and pass the solicitor's qualifying examination first time. The European Convention on Human Rights is an international treaty set up after the Second World War, under which the member states of the Council of Europe promised to secure fundamental civil and political rights, not only to their own citizens, but also to everyone within their jurisdictions. The convention, which was signed on the 4th of November 1950 in Rome, was entered into force in 1953. The European Court of Human Rights is an international court based in Strasbourg in France and set up in 1959. It rules on individual or state applications alleging violations of the rights set out in the European Convention on Human Rights. The Human Rights Act 1998 is a UK Act of Parliament which came into force on the 2nd of October 2000. It incorporated into UK law the rights contained in the European Convention on Human Rights, known as the Convention Rights. So I suggest that you memorize the articles and titles which contain these rights. I find that the easiest way to remember these is with reference to this diagram which I've prepared for the SQE 1 exam, which organizes the rights into a logical order. Article 2, right to life. Article 3, freedom from torture and inhuman or degrading treatment. Article 4, freedom from slavery and forced labour. Article 5, the right to liberty and security. Article 6, the right to a fair trial. Article 7, no punishment without law. Article 8, respect for your private and family life, home and correspondence. Article 9, freedom of thought, belief and religion. Article 10, freedom of expression. Article 11, freedom of assembly and association. Article 12, the right to marry and start a family. Article 14, protection from discrimination in respect of these rights and freedoms. Protocol 1, Article 1, the right to peaceful enjoyment of your property. Protocol 1, Article 2, the right to education. Protocol 1, Article 3, the right to participate in free elections. Protocol 13, Article 1, abolition of the death penalty. We will have a look at each of these in more detail in a moment. A quick note, though, on Articles 1 and 13 of the European Convention on Human Rights. These do not feature in the Human Rights Act 1998 because the UK fulfills them through the creation of the Act. So Article 1 provides that the states must secure the rights of the Convention in their own jurisdiction, and the UK does this through bringing the Act into force. Article 13 requires the provision of access to an effective remedy, which the Act guarantees through the provisions that are set out in it. So again, Article 13 is complied with by the UK through introducing the Act. Now you can see in the description below the text of each of the rights as set out in Schedule 1 of the Human Rights Act 1998. I've only included the rights that you actually need to learn for the SQE 1 exam. Now, of course, there is extensive case law on each of the rights and freedoms, but the key thing for the purposes of the SQE 1 exam is to be able to identify for a given factual scenario which of the rights may be engaged. For example, Sarah is detained by some security officers purporting to act on behalf of the police. She is told that she will face a trial for a crime committed last year, but will not be informed of the charge. Which rights are potentially engaged? Well, the rights potentially engaged here are extensive, but primarily Article 5, the right to liberty and security. She's been unlawfully detained on the face of it. And Article 6, the right to a fair trial. Another scenario, Henry wishes to attend a local protest against proposed government legislation which will limit ball games, but he is informed by the Westminster City Council that a gathering of more than 2 people of certain nationalities within a 5-mile radius of Westminster is no longer permitted. Which rights are potentially engaged? Well, again, many rights are potentially engaged here, but primarily Article 11, so freedom of assembly and association, and Article 14, protection from discrimination in respect of these rights and freedoms. Because again, they've said that in this scenario, it's only if you're of a certain nationality that you're not permitted to gather for more than 2 people. So let's just look at one more example. Ali is facing a UK deportation order to be returned abroad to face trial in respect of a crime that was admitted by him under torture. He will be detained and fears facing further torture. Which rights are potentially engaged? So the key rights engaged here are likely to be Article 6, so the right to a fair trial, and Article 3, prohibition on torture. So here is a sample question of the kind that you may get in the SQE1 exam. Jill and David are dual French and British nationals who met 2 years ago and they wish to get married. However, a new proposed law by their local council will prohibit marriage ceremonies going ahead if one or more are EU citizens and the relationship has lasted for less than 3 years. Which rights and freedoms under the European Convention on Human Rights would likely be engaged? A. Article 6 and Article 3. B. Article 12 and Article 14. C. Article 11 and Article 14. D. Article 5 and Article 6. The answer is Article 12, so the right to marry, and Article 14, the prohibition on discrimination. I hope you found this helpful. To get the first part of my full SQE preparation course for free, just click on the link in the description below.